So tell me if this sounds familiar. Do you ever wake up just instantly feeling like you're in survival mode? Before you even reach for your phone, your thoughts are already racing. Your chest feels tight and you're just hit with this heavy sense of morning dread. Well, if that's you, you are definitely not alone. And the sources we're diving into today show that this isn't in your head. It's a very real, measurable physical sensation. This is absolutely not a willpower problem. It's biology. Your nervous system is basically stuck in overdrive. So let's look at exactly why that happens, and more importantly, what you can do about it. Okay, let's get into it. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're focusing on morning vagus nerve activation for all-day anxiety relief and focus. We're going to explore how a super simple 5-minute morning reset can literally shift your body out of that stressed-out survival mode and into a clear, focused state for the next 12 hours. Section 1. Beating the morning dread. And diving right into the biology, Section 2, Science of the vagus nerve. Okay, so to fix that morning dread, we have to understand the body's internal superhighway. We do that by looking at a concept called vagal tone. This is just a measure of how active and efficient your vagus nerve actually is. Think of having high vagal tone like having a highly responsive brake pedal for stress in your car. The better your tone, the faster and more easily your body can shift gears from being on high alert back down into a calm, relaxed state. You basically bounce back from stress so much faster. So looking at the two main sides of our nervous system, on one side we have the sympathetic nervous system. That's your fight or flight mode, the one that pumps you full of cortisol when you're stressed out. On the other side is the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. And the crucial point here is that the vagus nerve is the primary driver of that rest and digest side. It actively slams the brakes on that fight or flight response. Now here's something pretty wild. We can actually measure how well your vagus nerve is hitting those brakes by looking at heart rate variability, or HRV. This is literally just the slight variation in milliseconds between each of your heartbeats. Counterintuitively, a highly variable heart rate is exactly what we want to see here. It means your nervous system is incredibly flexible and adaptable. It shows your body can respond to the environment efficiently without getting stuck in a stressed-out rut. Section 3. Separating fact from hype. Now, if you've been on the internet lately, you've probably seen massive wellness trends around the vagus nerve. It's everywhere, right? But we need to separate the science from the trend. The situation is captured perfectly by McGill University. They point out that the vagus nerve is often treated online as this boogeyman/panacea myth. Basically, influencers are claiming that literally everything wrong with you is because of this nerve, and every cure requires resetting it. Look, the nerve is absolutely real and incredibly important, but claims that doing a simple eye movement will instantly cure clinical anxiety, those are completely unsubstantiated. To put that into perspective, real clinical stimulation of the vagus nerve involves FDA-approved medical devices. We're talking things that are sometimes surgically implanted that use targeted electrical stimulation for severe conditions like epilepsy and treatment-resistant depression. On the flip side, many of the natural hacks you see online are definitely beneficial, but simply because they trigger everyday, sensible relaxation, not because there's some kind of magical cure-all. All right, let's get practical. Section 4, the 5-minute morning reset. We are going to use that science of everyday relaxation completely to our advantage. Here are the 3 core steps of our morning reset. It's a combo of cold exposure, specific breathwork, and vocal vibration. These 3 physical actions send undeniable signals of safety directly to your brain via the vagus nerve. Step 1 is super simple. Just a splash of cool water on your face, or holding a cool, damp cloth to your cheeks and eyes. This sudden temperature shift activates what's known as the mammalian dive reflex. It acts like an immediate reset switch for your stress loop. It naturally slows your heart rate and redirects blood flow right to your brain, which centers you almost instantly. Step 2 is coherent breathing, specifically using a 4-to-6 ratio. This is where you inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds and then exhale gently for 6 seconds. Actually, go ahead and try it with me right now. Ready? Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stretching that exhale out so it's longer than the inhale physically stretches the receptors in your lungs, and that sends a very clear message right up the vagus nerve saying, hey, we are completely safe. And step 3 is adding a humming exhale. The vagus nerve actually connects right through your vocal cords and into your inner ear. So by taking a breath in and then softly humming on the way out, just a really simple sound, you create physical vibrations in your throat and chest. That vibration directly massages and stimulates those vagal pathways, which really brings your parasympathetic state online. Now, if you need a little variety,
The sources mention a few brilliant alternative grounding methods too. You can step outside and walk barefoot on the grass to connect physically with the earth. You can give your earlobes a really gentle massage in small circles, or even just stand and sway slowly from side to side. All of these are proven, gentle ways to physically remind your body that it is safe right where it is.
Which brings us to the big payoff. Section 5. Unlocking all-day focus. Doing this 5-minute reset in the morning is obviously great for immediate relief, right? But the long-term payoff throughout your day is just incredible. When looking at clinical studies on task switching, researchers found that individuals who have a higher resting state heart rate variability, meaning they have that high vagal tone we talked about, show significantly better cognitive flexibility. They are just much better at switching between complex tasks without getting bogged down or distracted. And here is the biological reason why that happens. Chronic stress keeps your cortisol elevated, and having high cortisol directly impairs your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, sustained attention, and basically keeping you out of that hazy brain fog. So by doing your vagus nerve reset first thing in the morning, you're literally protecting your prefrontal cortex from that wash of cortisol. So the payoff for committing to just a simple 5-minute routine is immense. Throughout the day, you'll experience much better task switching and sharper mental clarity. Plus, because your body is actually spending time in rest and digest mode, your digestion will improve. And as a cascading benefit, because you managed your stress early, you're going to find it so much easier to fall into a deeper, more restorative sleep at night. It's the whole shebang. So I'm going to leave you with a question to really think about. Will you take just 5 minutes tomorrow morning to tell your body it's safe? Before you check the emails, before you pour that first cup of coffee, just splash some cold water, breathe deeply, and take back control of your day. I highly, highly encourage you to try it. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.